Okay, let's jump in. So for this deep dive, we're doing something a little different.
Mm.
We usually have, these dense reports or articles. Today, our source material it's a single personal account, but it's incredibly detailed.
And it's all about these intensely recurring, cinematic, and genuinely horrifying dreams, like a whole mental landscape was built.
Exactly. So our mission today is to unpack that. We're going to look at the mechanics, the emotional journey, and the deep symbolism in what the dreamer calls a game.
A torturous one at that.
Right. So here's the hook for you. What happens when your own mind creates this kind of torturous Groundhog Day scenario where death is gruesome, but, failure just means you hit reset?
And you have to do it all over again. It's a fascinating setup. This wasn't a one-off thing either.
No, not at all. The source says it happened every couple of weeks for several months.
And the key part is the pre-awareness. The dreamer said they knew the premise of the dream as soon as it began.
That just changes everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not a surprise anymore.
It's not. It's a test. The dread must have been immense, knowing exactly what you were in for.
Yeah, the source uses the word torturous specifically because of that foreknowledge.
It's like the mind created this system. You have levels, you have recurring events that you have to avoid, and if you fail...
A gruesome death. And the source is clear on this. The deaths had a realism to them.
Which would make it absolutely terrifying at first. This isn't like restarting a video game where you just pop back up.
No, you're restarting after a fully felt violent experience.
But that repetition, even a brutal one, creates a powerful learning environment.
Yeah.
Your subconscious is basically saying, nope, do it again, but better.
I just wonder why the consequence had to be so extreme. If your brain is trying to solve a problem, why make the failure state so horrifying?
Well, that's a great question. I think if it was just about creating anxiety, the dream would be chaotic, unpredictable.
But it's not. The rules are rigid.
The rules are rigid. The levels are consistent. The gruesome death is like this non-negotiable full stop. It says, that attempt failed. Learn from it. It's definitive, but crucially, it's temporary.
It's almost militaristic. So, okay, we get the brutal rules of the game. Let's get into the game itself. We've got details on 2 levels, and they sound relentless.
Let's start with level 8. The setting is so vivid. It's an old classic train station. Brick and iron, open platform.
And the danger is immediate. You're on this central pathway, but on either side.
Trains running very fast on either side in opposite directions.
So you're already trapped between these 2 forces.
But that's almost the background noise. The real gauntlet is what's on the path with you. The sourceless. Bombs, people, electrical obstacles.
Things falling from the roof. It's just sensory overload.
Total overload. But there's another detail you pointed out that's fascinating. The cubicles.
Right. Mid-platform, there are these cubicles with authority figures inside. They're not moving threats. They're just there, watching.
And that's classic dream symbolism, isn't it? These static observers often represent our own internalized critics.
Self-judgment.
Self-judgment, societal pressure, you name it. They're the points of perceived judgment you have to navigate around while you're dodging everything else.
Wow. So it's not just a physical challenge, it's this internal pressure of being watched while you're trying not to die.
Exactly. It adds this whole other layer of psychological stress.
And somehow that chaos is just the warm-up act for the next level we know about, the bullet train.
Yeah, the high level. This is where things escalate. Exponentially. The speed is described as A100.
100 times faster. And you're not inside the train.
No, you are completely exposed on the outside of the driver's compartment, just holding on with a bunch of other people.
That is the definition of vulnerable. Pure, unstoppable momentum, and you're just clinging to the outside.
And the scenery that's flying by, it isn't just landscape. Yes, there are small towns and rivers, but the source says there were also fragments that seemed like memories, but not just mine.
And time slows down when they pass them.
Which is just incredible. In the middle of this high-speed survival test, the mind is saying, hang on, process this.
You need to integrate this piece of the past to survive the future.
It's a high-speed psychological checkpoint. But of course, the main threat is still very physical.
The other trains.
The other trains coming the opposite way, just as fast and just so close. There's no dodging. The only option is to just hold on and hope I don't get ripped away.
Pure endurance.
Pure endurance. It's here, on this level, that the dreamer meets a companion.
The girl next to them.
Right. And she's apparently been on this train longer, and she delivers this key piece of philosophy for the whole experience.
She says, This was the last level to get to the end, and no knows what happens. You just hold on.
You just hold on. That one line is the foundation for the entire emotional shift we're about to talk about. The goal is unknown, but the method is persistence.
Which leads us perfectly into what I think is the most powerful part of this whole account, the dreamer's evolution. They go from pure terror to, well, to mastery.
Yeah, the initial response was exactly what you'd expect. Fear, fright, having to face the horrors again.
I mean, of course, who wouldn't be?
But then the pivot happens,
Mhm.
and it's all because of the repetition.
How does failure become empowering? It seems so counterintuitive.
The dreamer literally says they got more confident the more I died.
Hmm.
That confidence changed everything. They stopped just trying to survive
I
it.
started trying to pass it.
Exactly. The mission changed from endurance to success.
It's a form of exposure therapy, isn't it? But like on an extreme level, the fear becomes manageable because you know the blueprint of the challenge so well.
Precisely. You become desensitized to the cost of failure because the reset is guaranteed. So you can focus all your energy on the mechanics of success.
And that feeling, when they got further than usual, the source says it was a feeling of success because they had outsmarted the system.
I love that phrase. Outsmarted the system.
It's a feeling of control, right? In a situation that is, by design, completely out of your control.
It is. And even though it took sacrificing everything, in the dream, they eventually made it through. And the result? They felt stronger as a result.
It built this core confidence. The source says they became confident in my own ability through the starry landscape. The nightmare literally became a training ground for resilience.
It did. The only way out was forward, and the only way forward was to master the fear and execute perfectly.
So if the journey was that brutal, what was the destination? What were they holding on for?
Well, the source gives us this beautiful, stark contrast. First, we have to look at where the train was coming from.
The origin point. A dark, gray, black, bleak landscape of screams and lighting.
And this is what everyone on the train had just escaped from. So the whole journey is an urgent flight away from past trauma.
Which justifies the speed and the danger.
It does. And where are they going?
The golden horizon.
Towards a city skyline with a lovely yellow gold sunset behind it. The symbolism is just so clear.
Moving from darkness to hope. From chaos to structure.
And despite the violence of the wind and the speed, the dreamer notes that the other travelers had hopeful faces, all fixed on that sunset.
They are all in it together.
United in their will to endure the present for that promising future. It connects the whole journey.
And the best part, the dream stopped about a year ago.
The test was passed. The simulation was no longer needed.
So when you synthesize all this, what's the big takeaway?
I mean, for me, it shows how the mind can build its own recovery program. This repeated, horrifying failure wasn't a bug. It was the feature. It was a mechanism for building that internal confidence, that feeling of outsmarting the system.
The whole point was to get the dreamer to a place where they were no longer horrified by the deaths, but completely focused on the mission.
They stopped fearing the reset and started mastering the game.
It's an incredible transformation.
And it leaves you with a really powerful question to think about, doesn't it? I mean, if the only instruction for that final, terrifying level is to just hold on to reach an unknown, beautiful destination.
That yellow gold sunset.
Right. It makes you ask yourself, what is the single non-negotiable thing in your life that you are currently just holding on to, even when all the obstacles are flying past?
Because maybe the confidence you're looking for doesn't come from having all the answers. Maybe it just comes from the simple, repeated act of holding on.